So this is my challenge to paint this scene here, and normally it'd take about an hour on my live streams to do a painting from start to finish. So I'm going to half that time to 30 minutes and then take 5 minutes off. 25 minutes I've got to paint this. Let's go. So if you have a go at this challenge, make sure you are prepared, and you don't have to do 25 minutes. If it takes you, say, 5 hours to do a painting, which is quite realistic if you're a beginner, or even 10 hours, 2 days, whatever, just shave a bit off for that time. And welcome to my oil painting channel, and on this channel we keep things nice and simple. So if that's for you, keep watching, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And in the link in the description there's a link to my website where I've got a membership option which you can take your oil painting a little bit further with access to reference photos, huge amounts of library of demonstrations that are easy to follow along, and also we've got the members forum as well, so you can interact with like-minded artists. So let's get on with the video, and say hit that like and subscribe, notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Let's get on with it. Speed up my painting. Not that it's a race, but what it will do, it'll make me paint loose, because the faster you paint, the looser you are, I think. But bear in mind, you only want to be doing this once you've kind of reached a certain stage in your painting, that if you're a beginner and going straight off painting as fast as you can probably will result in a disaster. So when you're ready to do it, have a go. And only you will know when you're ready to do this. But have everything prepared, ready. I'm using a little bit of Gamblin, or Gamsol, it's called, to thin the paint out, because I'm working on quite a big panel here, which is just to make it a little bit more difficult for myself. I would, again, if you are a beginner, start small, maybe 5 inches by 7 inches. This is 60 centimeters by 30 centimeters, so quite a big panel. And the idea is it'll make me make decisions and just do it. But the issue sometimes is being a little bit unsure about what's to do next and so on. So when you paint quick and put yourself on a timer, you haven't got time to do all that. You just got to go with your instincts, be quick. That's just a bit of fun. More red. And I'm just using my normal set of primary colours. I've got titanium white, primary yellow, and ultramarine blue. I did put some purple on there as well, which I'm using at the moment. How are we doing for time? 5 minutes in. Too dark. Plenty of brushes on the go. What you need. Right, that's sky blocked in, not finished. Honestly, I've never done this before, done a speed challenge, and probably half an hour was more of a realistic idea, really, but to make it interesting and get more clicks on YouTube, I thought I'd shave 5 minutes off. A little bit too dark in tone in the sky there, so I shall just wipe a bit off. Say this is what you don't want. You don't want mistakes, because that's going to slow you down. brush I put somewhere. I'll be coming back to that sky. Doing okay for time. So I needed the contrast there for those distant blue hills. So this is a photograph that I took in France, and I combined it with a painting that I did recently. And this is the mid-journey image. And one of my members came up with the name Hybrid Mid-Journey Image. I thought that was great. So I'm going to use that. Although probably someone has already invented that, maybe. I don't know. But there's the grass area. It's warmer. And also, it's probably not a bad idea to be using a simple palette like I've got here, because it's going to make, again, things quicker, less decisions. You know, if I've got 100 colours on my palette, I'm going to get confused on what colours to use. And bigger brushes as well. I could do with some bigger brushes really to be doing this, but what I've got out at the moment. And all I'm doing is putting the right colour and the right tone in the right place. Obviously, I probably am making a few mistakes, but best not to. So we've got some darks. And there's no time for details. And we've got tree there. Dark that comes across here. There. And I've painted fairly thinly up here because I'm going to need to paint over this in a moment to get this tree up here. So there's a tree. Light coming through. And even if I just use this little game, we'll call it, to do an underpainting and then take it to a more polished finished piece afterwards, maybe. But it will certainly get me started off with a spontaneous, quick painting. And say the purpose is not just to do quick paintings and that'll do. That I want paintings that are loose and full of atmosphere and spontaneity. And if you go at it, a little bit at a time, that's going to possibly not create that sort of look. Now we've got all the light over here, so we've got cool greens and so on over here. Roll that brush about. Again, I haven't got a lot of paint on the sky there purposely because it'll just milk this dark, which we don't want. We want plenty of that sky hole to come through. How are we doing for time? 10 minutes in, roughly. A few more leaves, smaller shapes. Connect that all up. There's some blue. Let's pull that off. That's the panel covered. Go back to the sky. Excuse me. I've got paint all over me now. Got the white of that panel. The yellow has stained that a little bit, but that's fine. But I can wipe back and create some light. So I'm increasing the light against dark. I'm using a baby wipe here, which I find quite good at removing paint. Just looking at my tonal values. That's a little bit lighter. Okay, back to the sky. I think I will aim to a bit of light through there. Nice. Right, back to painting. We've got just over 10 minutes to get this finished. Let's go for this tree on this side. Strong darks. And I've got red and ultramarine blue. It's the alizarin crimson I'm using. Mixed on that brush. Making decisions. Thick paint. The canvas is now covered, so this is where I'm now adding thicker paint on. Plenty of sky holes to come through. Bringing that tree over a little bit more. Dark down here because we're going to have a few flicks of those long bits of grass that are adding that sparkle. Mixing on the panel. This is a wooden panel that's been oil primed. Going slightly darker in the foreground there. And just blend a little bit in there, create a bit of a misty atmosphere. Prepared a few brushes because I knew I was going to go through brushes on this because I haven't got time to mess about. Just put a warmth through there. Don't normally blend, but I'm feeling I need to just create that misty look in there. This brush I was using to blend is now sort of saturated with paint, so I'm actually now painting with that rather than actually blending. It's fine. So quite happy with that. More red and just sharp edges there, light against dark, creating that illusion of detail. See, we've got a lot of red here because that's where the sun is really putting light on those trees. And like I say, this is inspired from a scene in France, in the Indre, central France, where I am. and it's quite looks very true to this area. Tree there. It's darker. Yeah. And slightly more towards green over here. Again, we've got suggestions of detail. I'm doing all this with a fairly big brush here. That's a filbert. Turn the value on that a little bit. Right, need to go darker with this tree on the side here. So a nice big blob of yellow and blue. More blue to darken it. Nicely loaded up, bit of red just to take that green away, a bit of that purple. So hopefully you're enjoying this video. Please do hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And don't forget to check out those links in the description if you want to paint along with me, perhaps on a live stream, and have access to a huge library of full demonstrations like this. Mixing on the panel. So by making this slightly darker, it'll put it in front of this shape here. And plenty of light to come through there to this dark area here. We're creating a bit of an opening there, and tend to find that the oil primed surfaces are a little bit more scratchy, so you can actually create the illusion of the long grass there a little bit. So let's switch to a slightly smaller brush. A little bit of linseed oil as well, just to make this paint flow a little bit. So using a rigger, and we're just suggesting detail. Smaller branches. Again, got to be quick because we're running out of time, and I want to get the sparkle of the grass there, because that's an important part to give it that illusion of light. So do that now. So white for a bit of body, and red and yellow. So we've got little flicks of light there catching in the grass, a little bit warmer. Nicely laid up brush. They'll have more effect if we put them in the darker areas. More than 25 minutes would have been nice, but that's the challenge. So you have to let me know in the comments when this is on YouTube if you enjoyed that. I could do some more. Long grass. Back into the darker mix. grass. All right, last few minutes. Quick look at it and think, I haven't got that purple, have I, in the centre there, which is quite nice. So let's do that. Bit of the light blue. Like to just perhaps push that distant blue hill back a little bit. Let's just lighten that a little bit because it's quite an important part of the scene here for me in France that we see that happening in the light. I've got another brush I could use for blending. Yeah, these are just old watercolor brushes, just soft. Three minutes. Right, use this time wisely. Let's push that one back a little bit. Got some lighter value green there. Some cool just a few little marks there. Put that into there. And just very last few marks. Find a clean bit of area on the palette. That nice and dark there. Contrast. Maybe a stray branch. A bit of warmth. The light is perhaps just catching it there. Last few seconds. Let's just soften that a little bit. I'll use my finger as well. Nine seconds. Just need a dark in there. 30 seconds. I tend to like to put a bit of life in the scene. bird there. Making an illusion of detail, and tools down. So there we go, 25 minutes. Let's take away the reference picture. We don't need to see that. Let's zoom out. Well, let's zoom out first. Comes together when you step back from it. And it's up to you whether, you can let that dry and then hit it again, put in more refined marks in and so on. But, it does the job, what's there. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Give it a go. But say you don't have to do 25 minutes to look at how long it normally takes you to do a painting, and just shave a bit of time off of that and put a bit of pressure on and see how you get on. There you go. Good luck with your painting. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, you'll love this one.